Welcome back to CoinAgeEra, the home of rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable values. Today's video is something truly special. We're diving deep into rare and valuable coins featuring Elizabeth II coins that look ordinary, but could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. From a 50 pence valued at $60,000 to a 10 pence reaching $75,000. And rare 2 pence coins worth over $60,000. These are not just coins, they are history, royalty, and serious money combined. So grab your collection, watch carefully, and let's begin with our first incredible coin. The 2006 50 pence coin of the United Kingdom carries the iconic portrait of Elizabeth II, one of the most recognized monarchs in modern history. By 2006, Queen Elizabeth II had been on British coinage for over 5 decades. The portrait used during this period was the fourth official coin portrait, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Unlike earlier youthful depictions, this version presented a more realistic and mature image of the Queen, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a symbol of royal continuity and dignity. The 50 pence coin itself has a distinctive 7-sided shape. First introduced in 1969 to replace the old 10-shilling note, it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in British circulation. Its curved equilateral heptagon design was not only unique but also practical, allowing easy identification by touch. The reverse design of the standard 2006 5OP featured Britannia, the ancient female symbol of Britain, holding a trident and shield. Britannia has appeared on British coinage for centuries, representing strength, unity, and maritime power. In 2006, these coins were widely circulated across the UK. They passed through supermarkets, public transport, vending machines, and everyday transactions, becoming part of ordinary British life. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual about them. But history has a way of turning ordinary objects into extraordinary collectibles. While millions of 2006 50 pence coins were produced by the Royal Mint, only a very small number exist in exceptional condition today. Most coins entered circulation, where they were handled daily, stacked in tills, and exposed to scratches and wear. Over time, this reduced their collector quality. However, a tiny percentage were preserved in mint state condition, never spent, never damaged, and still carrying their original sharp details and brilliant luster. In the world of numismatics, condition changes everything. A circulated coin may only hold face value, but a perfectly preserved, high-grade example becomes a completely different asset. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels are extremely difficult to find because even the smallest imperfection lowers the grade. That scarcity pushes serious collectors into competition. Proof versions add another level of exclusivity. Specially struck with polished dies, proof coins have mirror-like surfaces and crisp design contrast. If preserved carefully in original packaging, these pieces remain nearly flawless decades later. When population reports show only a handful in top grades, the demand increases sharply. Mint errors can make the story even more dramatic. Rare production mistakes, such as off-center strikes, doubled details, or unusual die flaws, transform an ordinary coin into a unique collectible. When such errors are authenticated and found in high condition, their desirability multiplies. The global appeal of coins featuring Elizabeth II also strengthens the market. As one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history, her coinage holds long-term historical importance. After the end of her reign, interest in premium examples increased worldwide. When rarity, elite condition, collector competition, and royal legacy combine, prices can reach astonishing levels. In rare circumstances, particularly for exceptional, high-grade or unique error examples, values have been reported as high as $60,000 in the premium collector market. A simple 50 pence coin. But in the right condition, under the right circumstances, a 5-figure treasure. Now let's move to our next incredible coin, a piece that looks ordinary, but holds extraordinary potential. The 1997 10 pence coin from the United Kingdom carries the distinguished portrait of Elizabeth II, a monarch whose image defined British coinage for generations. The 10 pence was originally introduced in 1968 as part of Britain's transition to decimal currency. It replaced the old florin, keeping nearly the same size and value to help the public adjust smoothly to the new system. By 1997, it had already been circulating for nearly 3 decades. The obverse of the 1997 issue features the fourth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank Broadley. This version of the Queen presents a realistic and mature depiction, symbolizing authority, continuity, and national stability during the later years of her reign. On the reverse side, the coin displays the crowned lion passant, a bold heraldic symbol taken from the royal arms. The lion represents courage, monarchy, and the long-standing strength of the British crown. It is one of the most recognizable national emblems in the United Kingdom. In 1997, millions of these coins were minted and released into daily circulation. They were used in everyday purchases, from small grocery payments to public transport fares, becoming an unnoticed yet essential part of British economic life. At first glance, nothing about the 1997 10 pence seemed unusual. But as collectors know, sometimes the most common coins hide the rarest stories. Although millions of 1997 10 pence coins were struck by the Royal Mint, only a microscopic fraction survived today in elite collector condition. Most were heavily circulated, accumulating scratches, rim dents, and surface wear over years of daily use. As a result, finding a truly flawless example has become increasingly difficult. In numismatics, condition defines value. A circulated coin may remain common, but a perfectly preserved mint-state example becomes a rarity within a rarity. Coins that retain full original mint luster, razor-sharp details, and zero contact marks are exceptionally hard to locate, especially from circulation-era issues like 1997, when such pieces are professionally graded at ultra-high mint-state levels. Their population numbers can be extremely low. Proof versions add another layer of exclusivity, specially struck with polished dies and carefully handled from production to packaging. Proof coins maintain mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. If preserved in pristine condition for decades, they can command significant premiums when demand rises. Then there is the powerful impact of mint errors. Rare striking anomalies, such as doubled dies, misalignments, or striking inconsistencies, can transform a standard coin into a unique collectible. When rarity combines with authentication and top-grade preservation, collectors compete aggressively. The historical importance of coins featuring Elizabeth II also strengthens long-term demand. As one of the longest-reigning monarchs in British history, her coinage carries enduring historical and symbolic value. Following the conclusion of her reign, interest in premium quality examples has intensified across global markets. When extreme condition, limited high-grade populations, collector demand, and historical significance align, market prices can escalate dramatically. In rare, exceptional circumstances, particularly for elite-grade or extraordinary error examples, values have been reported as high as $75,000 within specialized collector circles. A simple 10 pence coin, yet under the right conditions, it becomes a 5-figure statement piece in the world of rare coins. And now, let's move to our next incredible coin, a historic piece. From the very beginning of decimal Britain, the 1971 2 pence coin marks a major turning point in the monetary history of the United Kingdom. This was the very first year of official decimalization, known as Decimal Day, when Britain transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, pence system to the modern decimal currency system we know today. Because of this, the 1971 2 pence is not just another coin, it represents the birth of a new financial era. The obverse features the portrait of Elizabeth II, symbolizing continuity during a time of national change. During this period, the coin carried the early portrait used on decimal coinage, reflecting the Queen's role as a steady figure through economic modernization. On the reverse, The coin displays the badge of the Prince of Wales, three ostrich feathers, emerging from a coronet, along with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning I serve. This design connects the coin to centuries of royal tradition while introducing it into a modern currency framework. Struck in bronze, the 1971 Two Pence is noticeably heavier and thicker than later copper-plated steel versions. When first introduced, it had a rich golden brown tone and a solid, weighty feel in hand, a true product of traditional minting methods. Millions were produced to support the nationwide shift to decimal currency. These coins entered circulation immediately, used in shops, markets, transportation, and everyday British life. At the time, it was simply new money. But over time, first-year issues often gain historical importance, especially when tied to major national transitions. Although millions of 1971 Two Pence coins were produced during Decimal Day by the Royal Mint, time has quietly reduced the number of premium examples available today. Most were heavily circulated during the 1970s and 1980s, exposed to constant handling, friction, and environmental damage. Bronze coins in particular are highly sensitive to discoloration, spotting, and surface marks, meaning pristine survivors are far scarcer than raw mintage numbers suggest. In numismatics, first-year issues always attract special attention. The 1971 Two Pence represents the birth of modern British decimal currency. That historical importance alone gives it long-term collector appeal. But history alone does not create high value, condition does. Coins that remain in flawless mint state, with full original red luster, sharp feather details on the Prince of Wales badge, and untouched surfaces are extremely difficult to locate today. Over decades, even stored coins can tone, darken, or develop small imperfections. Therefore, examples graded at elite mint state levels become highly competitive in auctions. Proof strikes from official mint sets raise the level even further. Carefully struck using polished dies, these coins display deep reflective fields and crisp design contrast. If preserved perfectly for over 50 years, their visual quality alone attracts serious collectors. Then comes the rarity multiplier, mint errors, misstrikes, die variations, off-center impressions, or unusual bronze composition irregularities can transform a standard coin into something unique. When authenticated and graded at high levels, such pieces stand apart from ordinary circulation coins. The global appeal of coins featuring Elizabeth II strengthens demand even more. As one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history, her early decimal coinage carries historical depth and royal significance. When you combine first year of decimalization, historical importance, extremely high-grade preservation, possible mint errors, strong international collector demand, under rare and exceptional circumstances, top-tier examples of the 1971 Two Pence have been associated with values reaching up to $61,000 in premium collector markets. From everyday pocket change in 1971 to a potential five-figure collectible decades later. And now, let's move to our next incredible coin. Two Pence from the 1990s, with hidden collector, power the 1996. Two Pence coin of the United Kingdom is part of Britain's decimal currency system, long established after 1971. By the mid-1990s, the Two Pence had become an everyday coin, circulating widely in commerce while maintaining the same traditional design that had been introduced 25 years earlier. The obverse once again features Elizabeth II, captured in the fourth official portrait by Ian Rank Broadley. This design shows the Queen as a mature, authoritative figure, symbolizing continuity and stability during a modern era of British coinage. On the reverse, the coin retains the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales, three ostrich feathers, emerging from a coronet with the motto Ich diene, I serve. This classic heraldic design ties the coin to centuries of royal tradition while maintaining a modern and practical circulation coin. The 1996 Two Pence was made of copper-plated steel, giving it a lighter feel compared to the original bronze 1971 issue. Despite being everyday pocket change, Its historical connection to the monarchy and its consistent design made it a favorite for collectors who track the evolution of decimal coinage. At first glance, it seemed like a standard coin in circulation. Yet decades later, some 1996 2-pence coins have achieved remarkable rarity, capturing the attention of numismatists worldwide. Although millions of 1996 2-pence coins were struck by the Royal Mint, only a small fraction survive today in pristine condition. Most coins circulated heavily, experiencing everyday wear, scratches, RIM nicks, discoloration, and fading of the copper-plated steel surface. This makes top-grade examples extremely rare and highly desirable in the collector market. Condition is everything. Coins that have retained their original shine, crisp feather details on the Prince of Wales badge, and flawless surfaces are exceptionally scarce. Professional grading dramatically influences value, with high-grade examples becoming competition magnets at auctions worldwide. Proof versions and carefully preserved mint sets take scarcity to another level. Struck with polished dies, proof coins show deep reflective fields and sharp design contrast. When such coins are preserved for decades in perfect condition, they often attract international bidders willing to pay premium prices. Rarity is further amplified by minting errors. Occasional off-center strikes, misaligned dies, or unusual planchet variations create truly unique specimens. When these errors are combined with high-grade preservation, they can transform a simple circulation coin into a highly coveted collector piece. The enduring global appeal of Elizabeth II coinage adds yet another layer of value. Her reign remains one of the longest in history, and collectors around the world prioritize coins featuring her image, especially for historically significant or limited condition issues. When scarcity, condition, historical importance, and collector demand converge, certain 1996 2-pence coins have reached astonishing values of up to $43,000 in the premium collector market. From ordinary pocket change to a rare five-figure treasure, the 1996 2-pence proves that even modern coins can hold extraordinary potential.